Hello and welcome to another video from Midas Touch Toys, Games and Collectibles. And today we are looking at the 1976 release by World Distributors from their Terry Nation series of Dalek Annuals. And this particular one is the 1976 Dalek Annual, as I said. And this is the front cover. And it says Terry Nation's Dalek Annual 1976. And you've got an image of the Daleks doing battle with an army of some kind, and it says authorised edition as seen on BBC TV, obviously on BBC TV's Doctor Who. Okay, so that's the front of the book. Let's just whiz it over to the back, and there on the back it's got the ISBN number at the top, and there you can see a Dalek being destroyed, and that is from a Doctor Who episode which is called Death to the Daleks, and it says Terry Nation Dalek Annual 1976. Okay, so that's the back cover. Let's just have a very quick look at the spline. And it says Terry Nation's Dalek Annual 1976, World Distributors. Tiny little bit of wear on the bottom and the top, but hey ho, when you're nearly 40 years old, nearly 50 years old, 48 years to be precise, you know, you're bound to have a little bit of wear and tear, as we all have at that age. Okay, so that's the front and back covers. Let's open the annual up and have a look on the inside. Okay, so I have opened the book up, and you can see we've got images of the Daleks going off to battle by the looks of things. And you've got the contents. So, stories. Terror Task Force. Exterminate, exterminate, exterminate. Nightmare and Time Chase. Strip stories, you got Planet of Serpents and Flood. Features, you got the Fantastic Spacecraft, Mark 7 Humanoid Robot, Dalek Genius, Sci-Fi Film Quiz, Anti-Dalek Force Aptitude Tests, Intercept, The Prophets of Space, Select a Word, Earth Skyro Timescale, Cryptography, Space Words, Man and Myth, Time Passes, The Island of Sesame. And it's copyright 1965 by Terry Nation, as seen in the BBC TV series Doctor Who. All rights reserved throughout the world. Published in Great Britain by World Distributors, Manchester Limited. And printed in Italy. And the SBN number is there. And then it's got Terry Nation's Dalek Annual 1976. And on the bottom right-hand corner, you can see the cover price from 1976, which was £1. Now, obviously, Doctor Who does not actually appear in this annual. This annual was a whole outing solely on the Daleks. And I think Mark 7 was involved in this, which was from the standalone Dalek episode. I can't quite remember what it's called at the moment, but it was a standalone Dalek episode that appeared in Doctor Who and didn't feature any of the regular cast. And for once, the Daleks actually got to win. I think it's Mission to the Unknown. I think that's what it was called. Okay, so, and of course, the copyright of the Daleks was owned by Terry Nation rather than the BBC. So, maybe as the Daleks didn't appear in the Doctor Who annuals, maybe there was some reason why Doctor Who didn't appear in the Dalek annuals. I don't know. I'm surmising, but there we go. If anyone really does know, message me and let me know in the comments. Okay, so let's turn the page over and have a look at what we got on the first page. So, Terror Task Force, which is, again, is an original story, and it's wrote specifically for this annual, and it is a full adventure story featuring the Human Alliance and pitted against the Daleks. So, and there's some great, absolutely fabulous colour illustrations there that go along with the story. The Fantastic Spacecraft, information on the spacecraft, and how it flies and ranges and so on. Mark 7, the Humanoid Robot, and that's all about him, his eyes, his robotics and so on. That's brilliant, that is actually really done very well. And then we've got the Dalek Genius, which is all information on, well, monsters from the past as well as Daleks from the future. There we are. Another story, again featuring Mark 7 and the battle against the Daleks. And that again is a full adventure story. And now the first page is in colour, and then we go into monocolour on the illustrations. Obviously colour was very expensive back in the day, so they did tend to mix it up a little bit. So then we've gone on to the first comic strip story, and this is called Planet of Serpents, and it is a monocolour story again, so it's black and white and one colour, and this particular page is obviously purple. And again, it's a full story featuring the Daleks probably battling against Mark 7 or his allies. And then we go on to again, it's an original story, of course, wrote specific for the annual. And of course, that colour, they've changed the colour to blue on that one, and back to purple again on this page. And then we got the sci-fi film quiz. Remember, this is all based on the sci-fi films from '76. So the films that they're talking about will be over 50 years old now. So there we go. And we've got anti-Dalek force aptitude tests. Reconnaissance debriefing, I should say. You have 4 minutes to answer the following questions. Test 2 and test 3. And test 4, and you can see somebody's actually started that by putting some X's in the boxes there. And test 5 with the Daleks at the bottom there. Okay, and then we're on to another full story, adventure story, which is called Nightmare. And again, this is a full adventure story, original artwork story with artwork images in full colour. And again, the artwork images actually amazing. They're really, really done well. And then we come on to the centre spread, which is a game. Now, all annuals back in the day had like board games in them. All you needed was some dice and a few counters, and off you go. You could play the game. And this game is called Intercept, and it's a space race for 2 or more players. And you got Skaro, the Planet of the Daleks, and ADF, Base Earth. Okay, and then we've got another adventure story. It's called The Prophets of Space. And again, this is a full adventure story. Oh, it's a very short adventure story, I must say. It's only 2 pages with colour illustrations. Then we've got the crossword, which you can see has been completed. And then we move on to a comic strip story. Now, the first page of that is in full colour, and I think the whole thing might be in full colour, and it's called Flood. And it appears to be all about... Oh, yeah, there's the Daleks. The Daleks have appeared, so maybe they flooded the Earth or what have you. I don't know. I haven't read the story, so I don't know what it's all about. But there we go. And then we're on to Earth Skaro Timescale and cryptography, whatever it is. And then Space Words, Man and Myth, which modern scientists and astronauts using highly sophisticated instruments are now able to give us a reasonable, accurate look at our planet and those around us. So there we are. Bearing in mind this was mid-70s, so obviously things moved on in 50 years, or nearly 50 years. Okay, and then I think this is the final story, which is Time Chase, again, which is a full adventure story featuring the Daleks, and it is with monocolour illustrations. Okay, and yes, again, even though monocolour, really good illustrations. And then you've got all the answers to all the quizzes and the crosswords and the Krypton games or what have you. And then we've got Time Passers and the Island of Sesam. Okay, so that's a maze you have to work your way through, and there's obviously quizzes for you, a game for you to do. And that brings us to the end of the annual. So yeah, very nice annual. So it's 48 years old now. How well did they do? They done as well as all annuals. Annuals were such a big thing because they were more like our video players or DVD players, because we had no internet, we had no video recorders, we had no DVDs. So to watch our favourite program or characters when they were off air. That's what these were. These are annuals. Everybody who was anybody would get annuals at Christmas. You would wake up with your Christmas stocking on Christmas morning, and everybody would have at least one annual, depending on what your favourite television programmes were. They were made in abundance back in the day. 50s, 60s, 70s and 80s really were the heydays of the annuals. Everybody who was anybody had annuals, and most of them were all based on your popular television series. However, there was obviously some that was based on your comics, on your favourite pop stars, your football teams and so on. But annuals were a very, very big staple diet for Christmas. They tended to be released in September, October, November time, in time for the big rush for everybody to start buying for Christmas. So yes, they all done exceptionally well. It's the question is these days really is how well they survive the test of time. Now these annuals do pop up from time to time on the platforms. I don't say they don't, they certainly do. And it's, again, when you buy from platforms, it's all about condition. So just be very, very careful that what you think you're buying is what you're going to get. Have a good look at the images and make sure that what you think is very good condition is very good condition and not just acceptable or good. Because one person's may have a very different opinion about what is very good and what you think is very good. So there we are. Anyway, so just be a bit careful if you're buying on the platforms. Otherwise, alternatively, we at Midas Touch have managed to find a few of these annuals, and they're currently available to purchase on the Midas Touch website, which you can get to quite simply by clicking the link below. It'll take you straight to the website. You'll be able to find this and many other vintage Doctor Who Dalek annuals, and many other vintage toys, games and collectibles come to that. There's over 10,000 products currently available on the website for you to view and purchase at your leisure. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button, because we're uploading videos for every new item that goes into the website. There will be something for everybody, and I am absolutely positive that you won't want to miss this, because we literally have thousands and thousands of new products, which we're shooting videos for and uploading on a daily basis. So if there's something in particular you are looking for, something old that you've never been able to find, something quirky you might want to buy for a friend, or maybe just something from your childhood that you'd like to own again to help you recuperate those long lost childhood memories. Well, stay tuned, keep watching, because you never know the next item we upload could be that item you've been looking for. Okay, that is it for me on this particular item. I do hope you've enjoyed reviewing this very old annual with me. Thank you for watching, and we will see you again at the next video.